Good day, folks. This is a follow-up review to a review I did on a product a few years ago. This is a floating GoPro mount by Telesin. Its purpose is basically just a mount to keep your GoPro floating in water if you're filming water activities. Now, my thoughts on this product a few years ago when I reviewed it were kind of mediocre. It wasn't a great product, it wasn't a bad product either. The main problem with this mount is that if there was any kind of movement in the water, if the water was choppy, or perhaps say you had this in a pool and there's people splashing around it, the footage was really unusable. Back when I reviewed this, the Hero 6 Black was the most recent camera, and the stabilization on the Hero 6 Black was not that great. But with the advancement of stabilization on the Hero 8 Black with Hypersmooth 2.0, and of course with the GoPro Max and how stable it is, I thought I'd take another look at it to see if it works any better. So let's just jump right in and take a closer look. So yeah, a couple years ago when I reviewed this product, it was kind of in the middle of the road for my recommendation. It worked well, it would keep your GoPro afloat, but really the footage was unusable. Stabilization on the Hero 6 Black, which was the most current GoPro when I filmed the review, wasn't that great. You know, it did help smooth out some shots, but when this thing was really moving around in the water, it really showed up in the video and really made the video unusable. But it did still have a couple good uses. This was actually a really good base or tripod to use in things like sand and snow. Traditional tripods don't work very well in the sand because the legs are so skinny, they just kind of dig down in. And if you have a really expensive tripod, sometimes you don't want to be using it in the sand because you can get sand and grit up in the slide mechanisms. So something like this works really well. It just sits on top of the sand. It even sits on top of snow without any issue. The Hero 7 Black introduced Hypersmooth stabilization to the GoPro, and with the launch of the Hero 8 Black, we've seen that upgraded to Hypersmooth 2.0. The stabilization is night and day compared to something like the Hero 6 Black, so I thought I'd take it out again and retest it to see if it works any better in the water. Of course, I took some shots with the GoPro Max because you can get some nice stable footage from it as well. Whether you're shooting in 360 mode or you have it set to Hero mode, the footage is going to be nice and stable. So first of all, let's take a look at some footage here from the GoPro Hero 8 Black. You can see I have it mounted in the Telesin floating mount, and the footage is actually quite stable. Of course, you do get a little bit of rocky motion now and then, but realistically, if you're doing some kind of water activity, you could definitely get some nice footage without having to babysit your GoPro. Something like this is great for solo creators if you want to film yourself kayaking, canoeing, doing any kind of activity in the water where you don't have a second cameraman to help you get the shots that you want. So definitely a product like this is much more usable now with the Hero 8 Black and Hypersmooth 2.0 stabilization. So next I attached the GoPro Max to this floating mount, and as you can see here, again, it does a pretty good job keeping things stable. The footage is much more stable when filming on something like a GoPro Max in Hero mode. However, of course, you can't film in 4K, so that might be an issue for some people. And of course, you can flip it over to 360-degree mode and get some nice stable shots that way. Of course, the benefit of shooting in 360-degree mode is that you can get some really interesting results, but it also allows you to capture every possible angle so you don't miss any of the action going on around you. Now, the other interesting thing you can do with this mount is you can mount your GoPro on the top of it and flip it over in the water. That allows you to get some really interesting underwater shots. Again, if you're a lone content creator and you want to get some shots of yourself scuba diving or anything like that, it's easily done. So definitely with the improvement of stabilization on today's cameras, this product is a lot more useful. However, there is one major issue, and that is this product is no longer available. I checked on Amazon this morning and it's just not sold. It looks like Telesin has discontinued it. So that is definitely unfortunate, and hopefully they maybe change their mind and bring it back to the market. This is definitely one of those accessories that is not for everybody. It just depends on how you use your GoPro and what products will be useful for you. If you're not a person who films in and around water, a product like this really doesn't have any use for you. But like I said, if you're a person who does film a lot of water activities, kayaking, fishing, you know, if you're a fisherman fishing from shore, you could kind of send this out attached to a string, get some shots of you fishing from shore or fishing from a boat. Interesting B-roll shots that you wouldn't normally be able to get. So that is my updated review of the Telesin floating camera rig. Now you can use this with any action camera, anything that uses a finger mount, so it works well with the Insta360 1R, the Osmo Action, any generation of a GoPro, and of course the GoPro Fusion and GoPro Max. This is the part where I would normally say I'll include the links down below where you can go and check the product out further, but obviously I cannot do that. If this is a product that you are interested in, if you do some searching around on the internet, you might find some online stores that still have it in stock. Well folks, hopefully you found this video informative. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.